Hey y'all, I'm so honored to be here. In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about what sales is really about. And I'm gonna teach you 4 guiding principles to support you and set you up for success as you integrate the truth that sales is service. The first principle of sales as service is that your job is to facilitate clarity. As distinct from closing a sale, making money, getting someone to buy, influencing, manipulating, coercing, right? That's not your job. Your job is to facilitate clarity. It's a totally different energy, right? Facilitating clarity means helping the person that you're speaking to acknowledge, recognize, even celebrate that they are at a decision point in their life. They're at a crossroads. And in one direction is change, in alignment with what they want to create in their life. And in the other direction is staying the same. And generally that's in alignment with something that they have valued but might be ready to let go of. Most people, when they're looking at their future, they're not necessarily seeing these 2 options. And so much of the sales conversation is simply asking questions to help them articulate for themselves what they're choosing between. What do they really want? Why isn't that a description of their lives already? Like there's something that makes that challenging or scary or difficult or overwhelming or mysterious. And if they don't create that, what's the alternative? Right? That's the fork in the road. What does change look like? What does not change look like? The second principle of sales as service is to be you completely, 100%, unapologetically, and to lead. Now, I share these as one principle because it is in the weaving of these 2 energies together that you create this second principle. But it does have these 2 distinct parts, so let's talk about both. Being you, I think this is so important to know out the gate from the moment you're listening to this video and forevermore, that sales not only doesn't require you to play some role or pretend to be something that you're not, it requires the opposite. It requires that you be the most authentic version of yourself, the most fully expressed, the most you can be. Be you. Don't spend any energy trying to be something else. And as you're being you, recognize that you are also in the role of leading. In any sales conversation, it is your job to guide. We're going this way, we're going this way, let's look this way. What happens if you go this way? What happens if you go this way? Your willingness to lead is what will create a container that allows someone to soften and look at the truth that they may not have been brave enough to look at alone. The third principle of practicing sales as service is no compromise. Isn't that fun? This is really important, y'all. This is really important. You and your subconscious, I should say, will come up with all kinds of excuses to compromise. You'll compromise your prices, you'll accept clients that you don't really want to work with, you'll shift the program because you think it's what they need in order to say yes. Don't do it. Your highest service is always going to come in the container that you define, that you decide. Don't convince yourself, like if you have to talk yourself into it, that's a no. No compromise is about you. That's where it starts. That's how you know where the lines are and where to orient from. And remember, this is the third guiding principle of sales as service. You holding the standard of no compromise for you, whatever that looks like, is how you serve your clients. That shows up in a couple ways. One is when you're not compromising, you're showing up as your best self. You're gonna bring your best when you do that. That's, of course, in service to your clients. But it is also enormously impactful in moving the needle around our people-pleasing culture in this world. When you stand for your boundaries, your preferences, your best way of working, your excellence, you give other people permission to do the same. The fourth principle, the last principle, and I have to say they're all my favorite, but this one is also my favorite principle, is to lean into faith, y'all. I can't even tell, when you know that everything is good, you've got this, the people that you want and need to work with are gonna come to you, that you're gonna make the money you want and need when you want and need it, that you have support, that everything is happening for your benefit, the no's and the yeses. When you lean into that level of faith, it's extreme. But then you can fucking be present for other goddamn people. And everything less than that is a distraction, right? When you're worried, oh, I gotta make the sale, you're not paying attention to the person in front of you. That's not service. When you're worried, I don't know if I'm good enough, maybe I should be better at this. I should have more people. How can I sell this if I haven't already sold it? Whatever noise you have that isn't faith is distracting you from the person you're there to serve in the moment. So I love this one so much because it's not trivial, but it's not difficult. Faith is not difficult. It feels vulnerable, it feels new for people sometimes. If this is not something that you've been practicing, it's gonna feel a little awkward and weird, like you're wearing new clothes, not used to that fabric or something. But man, you set your bar high on how much faith you have, and you are going to feel 1,000 times better. Literally every moment. Every moment is better with faith. Every moment is better with faith. That's a little mic drop for you. Write that down. Every moment is better with faith. There is never a moment where faith is gonna harm you. There is never a moment where faith is gonna fuck you in the ass. There is never a moment when faith is gonna screw you, when you're gonna regret having had it. Faith is always going to have your back. And when you choose to raise your standard on how deeply you are leaning into that quality of faith, faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in the divine, God, source, whatever name you give it, faith in your business, faith in your mission, faith in the person that you're talking to and their ability to make exquisite choices for themselves. The more pure your attention will be on the person that you're talking to. There's nothing else to take you out of it. And that's where your greatest service is. Your greatest service is in your undiluted attention on this person. How do you create that presence? How do you create that quality of attention? Leaning into faith. It's like a superpower. It's like it will look and feel a little like magic. It's not. May it be so that these 4 principles guide you with ease and grace into every measure of success that matters to you. And let me know in the comments which principle is the most helpful, which principle is the most difficult. Where do you get stuck? Where do you need help? I'm here for it. Ask me all your questions. Let's go deep.
Everything you want is already